Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 15 of All the Mods 3 Expert Mode. Why does grass keep taking over every aspect of my base? So what happened here was I put down a sprinkler from Open Blocks, right? Because I was like, well, extra growth rate, yay! And then I put bone meal in it because the wiki said something about bone meal improving its effectiveness. Apparently it'll apply the bone meal to the ground and just grow grass. So I'll take the bone meal out. I think I can still leave the sprinkler and it might do something, maybe not, but I have to clean up all this extra grass that's showing up on my base again. Thankfully the Horn of the Wilds makes that pretty easy. Alright, anyways, so last episode we made our power production much better in the form of burning dyes. Today let's see if we can put that power to use doing a few other things for us. Right now, we'll use it, sometimes to power our arc furnace, sometimes to power the empower. But is it still growing grass? Even without, hold on. Did that stuff there just grow? I'm going to keep it on. If more of this grows, I'm going to get rid of the sprinkler because it's not worth it at that point. Anyways, we're using power for ways to process resources, but right now that literally just screwed, didn't it? I hate this sprinkler. Go away. Haha. But we're not using it to create resources, and to do so, or to change that, I would like to start making a quarry. So looking at our quarry options, as I mentioned before, the quarry shape card requires a bit more than we have. The quantum quarry, I believe, is within reach, and some other options are like the lens of the miner, which doesn't appear to be in the pack, and the I wonder, is environmental tech even the basic levels available? Let's see, void or miner tier 1. Sure doesn't look like it, eh? Ooh, all the different wheel crystal types. But no, we are not there. What are the other quarries available? I guess a laser. What is it? Laser drill? This, we'd have to get a little bit into astral sorcery to make it, and we need pink slime. So I guess our options reasonably are the laser drill, or the quantum quarry. Let me think about which one I want to make. So I think the laser drill is in most ways better than the quantum quarry. You can like target specific ores with it. Right, say, and there may even be some ores that you can get with the laser drill that you can't get with the quantum quarry, because the quantum quarry basically creates another dimension and mines it, and some of these resources might specifically say, they can only be generated in dimension X. So in all likelihood, even if I make the quantum quarry, I will have to go back and make the laser drill later. However, that said, the laser drill actually requires a bit of progress in both magic bots, the blood magic and astral sorcery. Whereas the quantum quarry we could just make right now. So I'm thinking let's start with the quantum quarry. Perhaps it'll only be a stopgap measure, but at some point I think we'll have to upgrade to the laser drill. Quantum quarry also has advantage. I think it uses a lot less energy than the laser drill. Like a full power laser drill uses 20,000 RF a tick, give or take. That's a lot of power. All right, so the trick to making the quantum quarry is first you have to make this magical snow globe, which doesn't look too bad. It takes a nether star, but we have one. Well, we had one. Now we have a snow globe. And I think what you do is you just right-click it. Yep, and it says we visited this dimension. Now we have to go visit all of those other, or visit this biome. So, like one of them was snowy. I assume that there will satisfy the demand for both snowy and mountain. Maybe, I don't know. I don't actually know what this biome here actually is. All right, so what have we here? Yep, that covered both mountain and snow. So anyways, I'm going to go around a bit, hit up all these dimensions. I think jungle might be one of the more difficult ones because I don't actually know where a jungle is in my world yet. But when we're done, we can use it to craft the quantum quarry. We need the one that has visited all of the dimensions first. one of the biomes we have to visit is the end. So, turn off hover mode. Why am I? Oh, I'm gliding. There we go. While I'm here in the end, I may as well grab some obsidian because I think I'm basically out of obsidian. And what easier way to get obsidian than vein mining these massive obsidian towers? Before we head back, I realized that our snow globe has transformed already. We definitely didn't visit every biome type, but apparently you don't have to. So, good enough. Let's go make our quantum quarry. Before we can craft the quantum quarry, we need to make stone burnt, which is made in a resonator, which requires grid power. Grid power is one of those extra utilities things that it does to be unique that is, in my opinion, pretty annoying. But let's see. There's a couple ways to generate it. At first, you have a manual mill. Well, as long as you're clicking it, you generate grid power. When you stop clicking it, you stop generating grid power. That's not so great. Next up, typically, is the water mill. But you have to make a small amount of stone burnt before you can make it. And then after that, you typically go to the dragon egg mill, but that takes 2 nether stars, and I don't have 2 nether stars right now. All right, so let's resonate some of this stone burnt. Again, as long as I click it, you see it progresses. So I guess I have to click this for like a minute or 2. Yeah, that got boring awfully quick. The alternative is you just make some solar panels, which can generate just a little bit of grid power during the day. It's not much, but it's enough to get you started. So there we go, 9 grid power. And now this can run without me clicking this stupid manual mill. Cool. So now this is set it and forget it, more or less. We'll come back to that when it's done resonating our stone. While that crafts, let's consider our magic progression options. So we're going to have to get into astral sorcery or blood magic. I personally like astral sorcery, so not sure what that is, but we have to make a luminous crafting table to get started. It doesn't look too bad. Idol. How do I get these? Throwing dirty idol. Wait, no. Do I have it from something? Let's check. I guess not. I have to probably visit that atom dimension and do something there. Does it say? Let's see. Oh, okay. Any relic will do. I probably have relics, right? I swear I do. Yeah, stuff like this. That has the relic tag. Okay. So, luminous crafting table. I guess it have to be those exact variants. No, any marble. All right, 1 second. Here we go. 1 luminous crafting table. So we'll have to set this up under one of the world generated crystals to begin with. Let's take a look at our map and see if we can find one nearby. Oopsies. There's this. That one I don't think has a crystal in it, unfortunately. I know I have one marked down here somewhere that has a crystal, but that's really far away. There's another one here. You know, I have a plan. So I nabbed this Waystone from a village. I'm going to go fly around a bit and look for another village and nab their Waystone too. I can place one in my base, one at a astral sorcery structure, and just teleport to it. How does that sound? As I was flying around, I found this thing generated way up at, almost build height. What is it? It's not trapped, is it? This is one of those procedurally generated books, right? That comes from roguelike dungeons or whatever. I have no clue what the purpose of this thing is. Alright, whatever. There's also like a castle structure over here. And an astral sorcery structure. Haha. But it doesn't look like there's anything particularly interesting here. Aha, another village. Do you have a... Wow, there it is, a Waystone. So I'm just stealing these. And then we can put them, you know, where we want to teleport between, because there's very little reason to come to villages. Besides, of course, raiding their smithy. What's in the smithy chest? Hey, a structural engineer. Wasn't I looking for one of these earlier? No, I think I was looking for a... I should double check. No, I can recycle that. I'll take it. I was looking for the blueprints, right? Who sells these? Machinist sells the electrodes. Alright, well, I'll take a quick look, see if I find a machinist, I guess. Alright, didn't find the machinist, but whatever. We took their Waystone anyways. So you want to place one in our base. We'll name it accordingly. I think you may have to click it once to learn it. Let's see. And then we'll place the other one at an astral sorcery structure. Our resonator is also done making stone burnt, so we no longer need these solar panels. Naturally, solar panels don't work at night. Alright, so with this stone burnt, we can make water mills first, I guess. So these just produce... uh-oh. I can make this. Water mills just produce a little bit of grid... well, a fair bit of grid power. Yeah, we can use that grid power both to power the resonator, and I think the quantum quarry might also take a little bit. A simple layout for water mills is just like this. You put 5 of them in an X shape, put water sources on all the blocks that are not immediately touching them, and there we go. Each one should be producing 16, and there's some efficiency loss, yada yada yada. But that'll be enough grid power to get us started. We can now use some like speed upgrades in our transfer nodes and such. But now, like our resonator can now has 74 grid power to use. We can now run it. So let's get a bit more of this polished stone. Sure, 40 more pieces will do. The actual quantum quarry itself is composed of 1 quarry block and 6 actuators. You have to surround the, in fact, I think this even shows you, surround the quarry with actuators on all 6 sides. Alright, so whoops, we need that one off the ground. I guess we can't place an actuator directly on the ground. Alright, so let's see. I want to leave a little bit room in case I need to expand that system. So like this. I suppose in form you can think of it like the IC2 nuclear reactor. Place. There we go. When you click it, you get a UI. Alright, so we can optionally give it a filter that'll tell it which blocks to mine, or rather which blocks to keep. It'll only, output the blocks that match the filter. For now, I'm going to just have it quarry everything, dump it all into a drawer system or something. You can provide it a fortune book. I should do that. And a biomarker if you want it to target a specific biome. For now, I don't. Although I suppose if I want like emeralds, perhaps doing extreme hills would be a good call. And we need to provide it with power. I'm probably going to come up just short on energy conduits, huh? Now that it's powered, it's started mining. I think it needs a place to put its items. Yeah, so it's not terribly fast, although it does seem to be using a lot of energy. Wow. But it, most of what it gets are these useless blocks. But hey, look, copper ore. Oh, look, we even get black quartz ore. Unfortunately, I don't think I can set the blacklist as or use a filter as a blacklist. I can only use that as a whitelist. Secondly, the fact that it's draining power this fast, how much is it actually consuming? It is consuming a lot more power than we're generating, huh? Alright, maybe I can throttle it by just limiting the connections, right? So if I just disable this connection, it only has 1 connection, so it'll be consuming 4,000 RF a tick, which I think is exactly the production of this entire turbine. But for 4,000 RF a tick, it's producing some amount of resource. Now all I have to do is sort these resources into drawers. First off, I want to make a enchanted book for the quarry. If I put a fortune book in there, I'll mine the blocks with fortune. As far as I can tell, it also won't make it any more expensive, which is the best part. Anyways, to do so, you put pulverized coal and obsidian, I think, in these slots, and iron ingots in here. And it does appear to be crafting. This should make dark steel. And then once I have dark steel, I can make the dark steel enchanter. That'll allow... Oh, I could have done it in the induction smelter as well, apparently, with steel. Oh well, I've already started doing it this way. Iron, pulverized coal, and obsidian. Nice. The dark steel enchanter, unlike the normal enchanter, just lets you pick your enchantments. So book and quill, lapis, and in this case, emeralds. Lets us get fortune 3 for, hey, exactly the 27 levels I had. Nice. I'm pretty sure items don't stay in here. Oh, they do. Cool. I guess I'll leave the lapis in there. Anyways, I think we can just put this book directly into the quarry. I don't think it consumes the books ever, but I could be wrong about that. Doesn't put a damage value on it. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't even make it take more energy per operation, right? So this is the rate that it mines right now. If I take the book out, exact same rate. Cool. So it's just, you know, a strict upgrade. At least when you're mining things that, you know, benefit from fortune. Fortunately, we have unfortunately, we haven't hit any of that yet, like stuff like redstone or lapis. But it's also only mined, you know, a couple thousand blocks. Alright, anyways, let's now make the drawers to jam all this into. As I'm sorting this, I'm starting to get kind of concerned because I haven't hit any vanilla ores yet. I mean, we've hit 2 pieces of coal, but we haven't hit any like iron or copper. I mean, not copper, like redstone. It's really iron and redstone are the 2 resources I'm hurting most on. Let's hope we get some. But maybe it's a little too early to say that, you know, the resource doesn't actually generate in the dimension being quarried. So I'm just gonna, you know, keep assigning things to slots. We'll let it run a little while, and then hopefully at some point, I mean, there is nickel, but it's the immersive engineering form of nickel. The process is down all the same by the looks of things. But, you know, like all the ores we're used to seeing, we haven't seen yet, which is concerning. I guess there's copper, but once again, it's immersive engineering copper. Huh. And whenever you set up a system like this, you want to put void upgrades on all your drawers, just so that the drawers don't cause the output of the quarry to get stuffed up. 1 void upgrade for everything. We can obviously come back and put storage capacity upgrades in later as well. Double check. I do have void upgrades here as well. Alright, so some of these like things that we very rarely get, I'll just let them build up in the crate because it has plenty of room to buffer input. And yeah, if after like another, I suppose by the end of the episode, you know, by another couple hours of recording, if we still haven't gotten any like, hey, look, there's coal, any iron or redstone, I'll be quite sad. Shifting gears back to astral sorcery, let's fly over to the structure that has a floating crystal in it, and we'll set our other waystone there. Here we are. So place this. Name it. We only have to come here for to craft for the time being. Later, we'll be able to discover star fields much closer to our base to use. Anyways, there you go. We now have a little bit of starlight power during the day. Most of our starlight power will come during the night. Now we see that because our base is sufficiently far away, it does cost a couple of levels to teleport. Thankfully, we have plenty of EXP, so that's no big deal. Let's teleport back to the base. Having set that up now, it's occurred to me that I typically like to do a little bit of blood magic before really diving into astral sorcery. That's because once you get the imperfect ritual stone, which is available at apprentice, oh no, weak. So even tier 1 blood magic, you can do a ritual that can make it nighttime. So that, you know, naturally astral sorcery powered by the stars is more powerful at night. So let's change gears yet again and make ourselves a blood altar. As perhaps I should have expected, the blood altar is going to be a bit of a crafting rabbit hole. So it uses this Lonsdale, which needs empowered void. Biocoal requires, I guess I could process biomass in a kiln. Canola seeds in a composter. Alright, let's start there. Compost. So this process takes a while. So let's, well, I guess 2 it is. And then I can just set it near my canola production. And I think if I just Can I do it manually? Throw canola seeds in there. I can put a whole stack at once. Alright, well, it's doing something now. That should eventually produce compost. Next up, we need to harvest some demonic will. So the first way to get it is by killing a mob with that has been hit with a snare. I assume we can't make a sentient sword yet, but let's confirm that. Sentient sword. No, we need a Hellfire forge and all that before. Oh look, that takes more Lonsdale. Alright, so we need to make snares, rudimentary snares. Mana infused string, refined iron. Oh, well, looks like we're going to astral sorcery. Alright, so doesn't look too bad. Let's go craft some nocturnal powder for our snares while it's daytime. First off, we have to craft our resonating wand. Now, while we can put these materials in here, to actually craft on a luminous crafting table, you need a resonating wand. That creates a bit of a chicken or an egg problem. Instead, I think if you put a regular crafting table there, you can craft this. It says plus Starlight. So here we go. Now that we have that, we can swap that out for this. Alright, cool. Now we need illumination powder. That was what? Aqua, marine, and glowstone. Let's, I don't know, get a little bit of this. You can see that during the nighttime our bar is full. That just means we have more, light power to work with. I think illumination powder can work kind of like torches, like you can throw it on the ground and it lights stuff up. But that's not what we need it for. We need it to make nocturnal powder. So it's black dye, coal, and lapis. Alright, here we go. Craft. Cool. And then I think, oh, we didn't get a lot of it. Oh well, we're probably not going to do that much. Now we can just craft in a regular crafting table. I need some string. Alright, well, back to our base. Get some string. I think our mob farm should have plenty of it from spiders. String, yeah, it's a full drawer. And we'll just throw it in our mana pool, which should also be full. Yeah, it looks full from here. Nice. So you see how it's powered right now? It's powering the transmitter. As soon as we start using some mana, oh, well, I guess we used all the mana. The torches have turned off, and in just a second, we see food start dropping again, and mana should start being produced. For some reason, when the food's dropped by the open crate, it still ignores the first two pieces. I have no clue why. But yeah, there you go, mana. Alright, turning all that mana into these rudimentary snares. Now we have to get those souls. Or, like, demonic will, I think is what it's called. You throw them at the mob until it gets particles, and then you kill it. And rinse and repeat until you get at least, I think it was 4 that we needed. So there we go, we've gotten 2 so far. Used up most of my snares and was able to snag 10 demonic will for my trouble. Nice. So actually, because of these snares are slightly difficult to make, instead of crafting the blood altar first, I'm thinking let's actually try making the Hellfire forge first. I think we normally start here in blood magic anyways. So Hellfire forge, it's basically the same stuff. What's far free? I know I slaughtered that. I do not have any yet. It probably just spawns in the atom dimension. I have to go find some. Alright, well, for starters, let's turn these wills into Lonsdale. We have to make that empowered void crystal. Thankfully, this only takes 2 million RF, so it should be pretty quick. Right, let's start the infusion. The infusion is labeled as dangerous instability, so I guess it's a chance to see, is our altar stable enough to do dangerous? And it appears like as long as I'm not missing, basically as long as it's inputting resources, it'll stay stable. I don't actually know what that is like. Is game good or bad? I think you want positives. This is a measure of stability, right? Oh, whatever, it's done. So there's one, and then I'll go do the other one in just a second. And I'll grab the other empowered void. Now, before I can craft the Hellfire Forge, we have a couple problems. First of all, obviously I have to find how to get this block. But that shouldn't be that difficult. The bigger problem, though, is that this costs 250 V, and our table only has 197 available. Because there's some flux in the chunk, some of the usable V has been pushed out, we get a 5% discount for our goggles, but that's not enough to bring 250 below 197. So we have to make a workbench charger. I guess I have to learn how to make a workbench charger and then make a workbench charger. This costs 200, but technically because we get 5% off, we can craft it here. All right, so let's break out our Thaumonomicon and figure out how to get there. So, it's probably Oromancy. Visit the lowest depth and highest peaks. Okay. I did some research to get up to the focal manipulator. However, in the process, I did have to use some of the V in this chunk, and now there's not enough. It'll very slowly recharge, but as the closer it gets to full, the slower it recharges. So I'm going to try to look for another chunk that has, I guess 190 is the magic number. And hopefully we can find one to do our crafting in. 204, that's enough. Alright, so I'm just going to move our... Well, here, I'll make another one. Another arcane crafting table and do it here. So normally when you craft, you only have access to the V that's in the chunk you're in. However, if we put the workbench charger on our crafting table, we can see right now we only have 162. We have access to all the V and all the adjacent chunks as well. So we basically get 9 chunks worth of V for crafting, which gives us, more overall. Anyways, that should mean we can make this in a... Oh no, let's go find the porphyry. A cursory search suggests that porphyry is a block that spawns underground. And would you look at that? A decorative block that spawns underground. And now we have it. Alright, that was easy. One Hellfire Forge coming right up. Cool. So now that we have the Hellfire Forge, we can make the... What's it called? Not the bound blade, it's the other blade. Sentient blade. Alright, so this is done. Iron sword, a petty tartaric gem, and any amount of will. Alright, let's make a few of these. Tartaric gems just hold this these demonic wills, except instead of holding it in item form, it I guess think about it like a battery for these things. The sword doesn't drain and doesn't require any will, so we can use an empty gem to power it. Alright, so now that we have the sentient sword, when we kill mobs, if we have any tartaric gems in our inventory, it will fill them. If not, it'll drop the wills in item form. So, it just turned daytime, didn't it? Darn it. I guess we have to wait until nighttime again to make the... Well, what more do I need to make this? I need to empower a piece of redstone. Alright. And last but not least, we can start the infusion for the blood altar. This is also dangerous, and in fact, looking at it, it is now unstable. So, I'm probably going to have to keep an eye on it and be ready to react to instability effects. It just means I don't have enough stabilizers. You see, we're not having any flow stoppages, but oh, now we're dangerously unstable. I think the more unstable it gets, the more likely that a instability effect will happen. And I suspect that purple text that showed up there was telling me to do something about that, although it displayed 2 things at once, and I can't read 2 things at once. Anyways, yeah, it seems every time there's an instability effect, some of the instability goes away, but so far I've only been zapped a few times. The worst outcome is one of the items on the pedestals getting destroyed. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. Alright, there we go. 1 blood altar. So, we still have to set this up and, build the entire structure for it, but I think we're out of time for today. So, well, let's do one last thing before we wrap things up, and that is check the output of our quarry. Alright, here goes nothing. Yeah, I don't see any ores here. We got silver and lead, which I guess is fine. I could use some more lead ore, but we don't have any vanilla ores. In fact, we don't have any of the regular ores we see in the overworld. I suspect what's happening, how many blocks have we seen? Quite a few, actually. Is that the dimension that it mines in, because it generates another fake dimension to mine in, doesn't have caves, and all the ores we're looking for only generate like on cave walls. So as a result, it doesn't produce stuff like iron ore, redstone, etc., etc. We have a few iron ingots, but it looks like it's because they hit a loot chest. Well, in an event, there's no harm in leaving it running, between episodes, but I'm not expecting this quantum quarry to actually produce us any meaningful resources. Womp womp. Oh well. So on that note, let's wrap things up here. We'll come back next episode and put together our blood altar and work from there. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.